Hello students, welcome to La Excellence. Welcome to our Current Affairs for Beginners program. First, let us see the answers for yesterday's questions. The first question is on coral reefs. It says, coral polyps are soft body shallow water organisms. So, that first statement is correct. The second statement is, they are known as rainforests of the ocean because they have huge biodiversity. So, statement 2 is also correct. So, answer is both 1 and 2. That is option C. The second question is on illegal migrants. It means who are considered illegal migrants. First statement says, illegal migrants are those who enter the country without valid documents. It is true. Second statement says, illegal migrants are those who has valid travel statements but they stay in the country beyond permitted time period because the permit will be given for certain time. If they exceed that particular time, then also they are considered illegal migrants. So here also 1 and 2 statements are correct. That's why answer is C. Now let us understand today's articles. The first article is on floods and landslides in northeastern states. Here, the basic things that we should understand are 1. Floods. We should know what is a flood. 2 is landslide. Then we should see why floods are frequent in northeastern states, why landslides are frequent in northeastern states. First, let us understand what is a flood. What is a flood? Let's say this particular stream or river or channel, it has some carrying capacity. It means the maximum amount of water, silt and whatever it can carry. The maximum amount is called carrying capacity. When this particular channel or river, it exceeds this carrying capacity, then the water and silt or mud, it starts overflowing out of this particular channel. Then this entire area gets flooded with the water. That is known as flood. Flood is excessive flow of water that exceeds the carrying capacity of the channel. Next, what is landslide? What is a landslide? Landslide is nothing but from the steeper slopes, the land gets slided or moves downwards under the influence of gravity. Gravity is the major factor. The land means soil or rocks. They come down along this slope. Under the influence of gravity, then we call that phenomena as landslides. Now we have to understand why floods and landslides are very frequent in northeastern states. We know that northeastern states, they have one major river, that is Brahmaputra river, that flows along the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, then it moves into Bangladesh. Due to this river carries heavy silt from these plains of Assam. So in Assam, this river causes huge amount of flooding. So floods, there are many other river systems. Barak river system is one such, Barak river, Brahmaputra river. All these rivers and small streams, they all lead to floods in the northeastern region. Then why landslides? As we know, Himalayas are spread over like this. The Western Himalayas, Middle Himalayas, Northeastern Himalayas, and they are bent like this. These are extended Himalayas. As we know, Himalayas are young fold mountains. Young fold mountains where the layers are formed of these sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are the rocks that are formed due to the deposition of various materials over a period of time. These sediments, they accumulate and they form rocks. Those rocks are called sedimentary rocks, As Himalayas are young fold mountains formed with the sedimentary rocks, they are fragile. And when there is heavy rainfall along the slope, the earth material starts coming down. When the earth layers get loosened, the material comes down. There is another reason for landslides. This is one reason. What is that? Floods and heavy rainfall. The second reason is earthquakes. Earthquakes are very frequent in this particular region due to the active tectonic plates. So due to the small earthquakes also, landslides are very frequent in the northeastern India. This we are going to deal in our disaster management chapters. In our disaster management, we should understand geological phenomena. Then we should understand what measures can be taken to prevent or to address the impacts of these disasters. We'll be dealing them for our mains. The next article is on the changing nature of violence. Here, my interest is to see this. What is the argument of industry versus environment? What is this? In our GS paper 3, we have this concept of development, where we have to learn about different dimensions of development. This argument is very famous, that is growth, industrial growth versus environmental degradation or deterioration. Let us see what is this argument about. We have industrial needs versus environmental factors. For industrial needs, we need raw material in the form of minerals, which are extracted. Minerals are extracted. There is environmental constraints. That is due to mining. What are the environmental constraints? Destruction of forests, deterioration of water quality in the river streams, in those river areas. All these are side effects of the extraction of minerals that is very much required for the development of industry. That is why in our tribal belts, especially in the Chota Nagpur plateau, some parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, all these areas, they have this debate of industry versus environment. Otherwise, industry versus rights of people. That is also one other argument that is there in these particular areas. Here, what is the trade-off now? We need minerals for the development of industry, for employment, all these things. What should be the way out now? That for that purpose only we have environmental impact assessment. What is this? Before taking up any project, any industry, the project has to be approved through the EIA mechanism, that is environmental impact mechanism. Under this EIA, one organization will be given to prepare report on EIA. This organization prepares EIA report. This EIA will be examined by Ministry of Environment, Forests and Climate Change. This ministry, it examines it and gives the approval for the project. There are conditions in EIA. There are three types of conditions. One, if the impact on environment is very minimal, it gives go ahead. If there is any environmental impact and it can be reversed through different mechanisms, then it suggests measures. So and so. The industry should do this, plant more trees, etc. And there is third condition wherein the environmental cost is more as compared to the benefits out of that particular industry, then it won't be given any approval for setting up of the particular industry. But in many of the cases, this EIA is not implemented properly. That is what is the agitator's demand. So we should know what is the demand of industry versus environment for our environment paper and GS3 economy. The next article is on cess collected for construction workers' welfare abysmally low. Here our interest is, what is cess? Cess is the additional tax that is paid for a specific purpose. Purpose should be there. For example, now we have environmental cess, that is Sarva Siksha Abhiyan cess. It means the amount that is collected through this will be used for the education purpose, that is primary education purpose. Likewise, we have this cess, where this cess is imposed according to the Construction Workers Welfare Cess Act. Under this act, 1% cess is levied on all the construction activities except on the buying of land. So all this amount should be used for the welfare of the workers in the construction sector. This article says that amount is very low. Even if the amount is there, it is not utilized properly. But we should know only this point, cess. The next article is on CARA. CARA is Central Adoption Resource Authority. It is the nodal agency in India which oversees regulation of adoptions of orphans, abandoned children. All these issues are regulated and coordinated by CARA. This body, CARA, works under Ministry of Women and Child. It means within the country, if anyone wants to adopt one person, one child, then CARA is there. It means intra-country. Intra-country adoptions are under CARA. But what about inter-country adoptions? We often read in news that this person of some foreign national, let's say American, he wants to adopt a particular child. Then who oversees that? CARA only oversees inter-country adoptions under Hague Convention. Hague Convention deals with inter-country adoptions. India ratified Hague Convention. Under that, CARA will be overlooking and regulating the inter-country adoptions also. This is very important article or important advertisement according to me. Here we should know what is this mission innovation. What is this mission innovation? It's not India-centric program. Mission innovation is a global initiative of 23 countries plus European Union. All these countries, they came together. They are implementing global clean energy innovation, the technologies that promote clean environment. For those projects, all these countries came together and are implementing mission innovation. In India, Department of Biotechnology under Ministry of Science and Technology is responsible to implement mission innovation program. Now, there are 7 challenges or 7 goals that all the member countries, that means 23 plus EU, all these want to innovate in 7 mission-oriented areas, and sustainable biofuel is one among them. Here, now the invitation is given for submitting the innovations. Here, we should know one another thing. What are the biofuels? Biofuel is made out of the recent biomass. These biofuels can be made out of food crops or waste of food and other waste biomaterial, or from the 3rd generation, that is through microorganisms. In these 3 ways, biofuels can be produced. It is called 1st generation biofuel, it is called 2nd generation biofuel, this is called 3rd generation biofuel. Under this challenge, 2nd generation biofuels and 3rd generation biofuels are encouraged. It is because food crops, when they are used, are diverted to produce biofuel. It affects our food security. That's why in all these thrust areas, if we see, go through all these areas, in all these areas, if we see, it provides for 2G and 3G, 2nd generation and 3rd generation biofuels. The next article is on Martian Rust Storm silences NASA's rover. First, we should know what is this rover and when this rover is introduced or experimented on the Mars surface. The third thing is, what are the other rovers that are intended to study the Mars surface? Now let us see some of the rovers or Mars rovers that are introduced by NASA. This Opportunity rover, this rover that we are seeing on the screen, this is known as Opportunity rover. There are 3 other rovers that are introduced already. We'll see what are those. The first one is Sojourner, that is Mars Pathfinder mission. It is introduced by NASA in the year 1997. It is the first rover or first robot to rove the red planet, that is Mars. The second one is Opportunity rover, which is introduced in the year 2004. Now it is to find the evidence of water on Mars. Now it is instrumental in sending the images. The image that we have seen just now in the previous page, it is related to, or it is the Opportunity rover. Curiosity rover is the science laboratory mission that is introduced in the year 2012, and it is finding out was the water were there, what are the chemical ingredients that are available, all these things are there. Now Mars wants to introduce Mars to 2020 mission. It is going to be introduced in the year 2021. As of now, we have to know the 3 Mars rovers that are already introduced on the Mars surface. I have given 2 questions for the day. First question is on CARA. Try to answer this question. Second question is on Opportunity rover that we have seen in the form of images. Thank you very much.